To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las
This here's a wild ride in the woods.
When invisible trap doors change.
So today on Miles from Main Street, we are coming to you live, straight from Disneyland.
We're in Disneyland!
We're actually standing right in front of the train. We're looking at the Disneyland train station right now.
We are. We're standing like as if we had just come through the gates. Mm-hmm. We have been here all morning, having a great time. Mikhailo, you got soaked.
Oh my God, we've done a fair amount already, but one of the highlights is just getting completely drenched on Splash. When I say drenched, I'm still wet right now, and I may buy clothes because I'm so wet. And I've never had to do that at World or any other Splash Mountain that I've ridden before. Like the wettest I've ever been.
I've never gotten wet like that either. I mean, my right shoe was really wet. So
yeah, it was a fun time though. It was really cool. We got to go with Brian and with the rest of the family, so that was really fun to do. But now we're gonna take a little stroll down Main Street.
We are. Let's go do that.
So one of the things I like to point out here, I mean, you guys can't see it, but we're gonna tell it to you, is this plaque. The plaque that's right over this entrance into Disneyland. And it says, "Here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy." They actually have hats that have that plaque on it. Yes, I think they're pretty cool.
And you know, I looking at that, I walked in this morning and I was quite choked up.
Oh yeah.
Over it. Like I was finally here. I never really thought this was a place I would come to. But yeah, as we walk into Town Square, here we are. Cruella de Vil is out. She's meeting with some guests right now. That's pretty awesome. You don't see Cruella in Disney World ever.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting too because there's a lot more free roaming characters in Disneyland than there are in Disney World. Where like in Disney World, they just kind of have you meet them. Here in Disneyland, they'll just be like free roaming and they'll just be around and they'll just pop up places.
There are a lot of guys better than he is in the city, but out in the country, ain't a single one.
You guys could probably hear the Dapper Dans performing right now.
Yeah, sorry we have to compete with them, but
I know. We're gonna have a sing-off.
Look at these buntings up here, like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
100th, they look great. Goofy's over here meeting with people in his 100th outfit. I can see Minnie over in the corner over there. Yeah, this is quite awesome.
It's kind of similar to like when they dress up World for like events and stuff, but it's also not like too overdone. So it still kind of feels like what Disneyland is supposed to feel like. I mean, we don't even know what it's supposed to feel like, but It's just like little 100th touches here and there, and it's not like too overdone.
I want to talk about like the Emporium, like that's been built after the Miller department store in Marceline. You know, like I feel like this is just perfect for us. Like we hit Marceline first, and we're going through time, right?
Exactly.
Through the history. We're now at Disneyland, and we're gonna have to hit up Disney World next. And as a team, right?
Oh, of course. That would be great, honestly. And then the Main Street Cinema, are they still playing Steamboat Willie in here?
It says 6 great cartoons.
Ooh.
So, and of course, this is the cinema that's after the cinema that we visited in Marceline. Yep. So, yeah. And they have all the little, we have
windows?
all the little signs or the windows of Main Street, you know, that have Mark Davis and Alice Davis right next to each other.
Casting agency.
Casting agency.
Yeah.
It's interesting here. They have both sides of Center Street still.
Oh yeah.
Which in Disney World they got rid of one side so they could make the whole thing shops, right? Like it's all one big store.
Yeah. Speaking of shops, we passed the Crystal Arcade, and I'm pretty sure that started as a real arcade. Like they actually had an arcade in there.
Yeah. Better. I mean, they've got the Penny Arcade down here too. So.
Is that still an arcade?
I don't know. It was closed when I walked by this morning.
It's probably a shop still. But yeah, when we got here, we just like, typical Kylo and Kristen fashion, we just like ran through Main Street to go do our thing. So it's nice to be able to like slow down and look at everything.
And we kind of did the same thing. We got a locker first, but then got in line for rope drop and went and hit Fantasyland. We got 3 rides done in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, in that 20 minutes, we stood in line for Space Mountain. So you guys definitely did it the correct way. We chose incorrectly.
Yeah, we got a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway this morning, and we wanted to get a few things in before we had to be there because we got one for right away this morning. So we had until 9 o'clock to get over there. So we got in 4 rides before we went over there, and it was 8:45 when we walked into the land. So that was pretty cool.
So so this is Coke Corner, and
Right.
this is the corner of Marceline that we were at. That it's supposed to look like that corner. And
And if you stand in the front of it, like on the corner, I guess, you'll see the resemblance to Zerker.
Oh, for sure.
Zerker building.
And it's funny because this is where it's so weird, and we should talk about this a little bit about how this feels like Magic Kingdom, but it's totally not. Like because this is where Casey's would be, and then there's like a whole other building over here. This is technically would be Crystal Palace, but it's Jolly Holiday.
Jolly Holiday, and like we ate there earlier today, and I was kind of explaining to my daughter like it'd be so much bigger.
Yeah.
And spread out, and it's not.
Yep.
We've got an omnibus coming for us right now.
Oh
so
boy.
we gotta step off
Oh
the
yeah,
street.
and that's another thing. They actually have like motor transportation like on the roads, and they're kind of all over the place.
And they go all day long too. Like they just keep going.
And Kristen was asking this: can you just walk on?
Yeah, if they're stopped, they'll be telling you like free rides to wherever, and
Nice.
jump on. I want to show you one little detail.
Yeah.
They've got all these red and white light bulbs going around in the refreshment corner, right?
Yep.
And if you come up here, you're gonna find one that's red and white because they wanted to keep it going, but they didn't have the right number, so they painted it.
They painted one. Yeah. That's funny.
So yeah, this is awesome to be here. Why don't we go sit in the hub and we'll talk a little bit?
Yeah. So we're making our way down Main Street a little bit more. We've got Coke Corner right behind us. We're walking straight for the Mickey and Walt statue, which, surprisingly, it's 1:40 now. We've been in the park for a while. We've done a lot. I haven't fanboyed over the Walt and Mickey statue yet today.
Oh, I haven't either. I walked right past it. I was just thinking that as we were gonna walk up here, like, and this is the interesting thing. Like, there's no hub grass here to sit in.
Oh yeah.
But there's benches all over the hub, which is incredible because we can just come and sit down. And like that's what Walt wanted was to have space for people to sit.
Well, I mean, it started with him sitting on a bench watching his daughters go around a carousel. So it would make sense. And actually, looking at that picture, these benches look like that bench that he was sitting on. I wonder if they did that on purpose.
We should stop in there at some point too. They do have one of those benches here.
Ooh.
So we'll have to do that. Yeah, let's have a seat. We'll sit in the sun so that you can dry out
so I can dry off. Oh my God.
It's just hilarious how wet we got. I told Mikhailo before we rode Splash Mountain that, or he told me before we rode that it's not as good as World. So I was like, oh, whatever. And I told him at the end it was a lot better because he was on it with me getting drenched.
It was, after every single drop, I would just get a wall of water and I would just start screaming because it's like super cold too. So you kind of get that shock.
Yeah, you do. And my backpack was next to me, and as my feet are getting soaked, I'm going, oh no, the backpack. And it fared well, so. There
was a good amount of standing water in the boat when we stopped. That's how wet we got.
It really was. It was a blast watching Oh, look at the trolley going by
Yep,
with
the trolley. There's
a horse.
literally a horse pulling a trolley right now.
A white horse too.
Yep.
It's gorgeous.
I also wanted to comment on the smell over here. We're staring at a popcorn machine right now making popcorn, and it smells so good. And that's one big thing that we like is the smell and popcorn. And I had myself some popcorn this morning already. So
Yes, we did too. They have a lot of 100th anniversary items going on. We got the lemon tea cake at Jolly Holiday when we stopped for a snack. Yeah, this is, like I said, I don't know, I choked up quite a bit coming in, and I went up to the top of the train station, and Jacob said something about the castle, and I said, I haven't looked yet. I'm trying to save it for the big reveal, because you're supposed to go around like Town Square and come out onto Main Street and then see the castle.
Yep.
And so I did that, and you've seen those memes of Disney Worlders showing up here at Land, and they kind of laugh at the castle. I'll tell you, man, this thing's gorgeous.
yeah, and I think so. I mean, I feel that same way, where like it hits you when you get here, especially with like the history. One of the moments that kind of hit me, we got to Main Street just now on the train. And as we were pulling into that train station, just thinking about like that first broadcast, where like it started right on that train station and they were doing the broadcast and everything, and how like that history is here, and like those moments happened here.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool. But I definitely had that thought when I came in, and I was like, wow, the castle's tiny.
Well, and back to your point about the recording being done up there, and we walked in, my son said something to me. So the fire station is where they did the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom game, right? And I'm like, yeah, but that's where Walt's apartment is.
Yep.
And I pointed out the lamp in the window that's kept open. I'm being distracted. There's a guy walking by with a giant turkey leg.
Oh my goodness.
And
that's a good distraction.
Yes, and I need to get a turkey leg now.
Yes.
But yeah, I had to point out the lamp in Walt's apartment, and I got choked up again there too. Like you feel him as you're here. So
yeah, it's just kind of going to those areas and just understanding the history and how honestly, we wouldn't be such good of friends. We wouldn't have this podcast. We wouldn't be so into this Disney culture that Walt Disney has made if it wasn't for this park. So I think that's kind of like the history that hits me the most, is like this was probably one of the most important. This was the most important park for just like the theme park industry as a whole. So
right. Oh, it was it was another one of Walt's follies, right? Like no one thought this would work. Even his wife was like skeptical of this happening, but yeah. I don't know how many more times I can just say, like, it's just amazing to finally be here.
Yes. And we've done a lot of waiting, and I know I have kind of been thinking about, like, what this would be like. And just to kind of, like, talk about that, I was talking to Kristen today where I was like, it feels like a normal Disney vacation, but then it's like you're in Disneyland. So it's like we're so used to Disney World, and like I feel like there are some parts of Disney World that we're kind of desensitized to.
Yeah.
So like I kind of have that going on, but then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, this Pirates of the Caribbean is awesome because of like the cavern scene and all this stuff, and just like the areas that like Walt worked on and everything like that. It's so weird because it feels like Magic Kingdom, but it's definitely not, and it means a lot more.
Even Jungle Cruise, we were on that earlier, and I read a story not too long before coming here that said that he would point, just pick little different things, and he said, put an elephant walking up the hill, and the person telling the story was like, I'm sure it's still there, and I saw that coming through, and it's like, you think about Walt everywhere you go, every little thing you think about him. as I'm sitting here in the hub, with the benches, like he wanted grandparents to be able to sit down and say, okay, you guys go off to Adventureland, and he always wanted that single entrance and exit, and you could sit here and wait for them to come back from Adventureland, and you would always know where they were because they always had to come back here, and that started being a little bit of a problem for guests, so they did connect the land so that you could walk from one land to another without having to come back here, but it's just another one of those things you think about. So,
and I know the park itself has been updated, and they've added new lands. Obviously, Star Wars Land wasn't here when Walt made the park, but just like the architecture of like what's here, I feel like it's just so crazy that it just holds up all the way to today.
Oh yeah.
Like just the way that the thought that was put into all of these areas, like, I mean, it's going to hold up forever because of like what they've done here. And I think that's what surprises me the most, is that like, yeah, this is an older park. It doesn't really feel that way, even in like the layout and the architecture of everything.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted as I was watching these princesses take a picture here. They're doing what we haven't even done yet, and paying respect to the partner statue and Walt.
Exactly.
I mean, it's my second partner statue, I'm happy to say.
Yep.
So I have to get out and get more of them now, but...
Yeah, that actually made me think too about what it would be like and will be like, because eventually I want to get out to like Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, and just kind of how, because I was talking to Kristen about how World is a destination, like 100%, like that whole, it's basically two cities put together for vacationing, whereas this area is just like very tightly condensed Disney.
Yeah.
Even this park itself is just very tightly condensed Disney stuff. Like, you've just got like rides on top of rides. I thought it was funny that we were walking up to Haunted Mansion and you could see Splash Mountain just like in the background. It's just all right there.
Yeah, it's so tightly packed in. And I mean, not even just here, but outside of the Disney parks. You can see that it's all kind of jam-packed together.
I mean, you got two parks kissing each other here.
Yeah, you do. The funny thing, Tammy said it this morning when we were bringing the shuttle bus in, is like, even the bus pickup area is kind of like a definition of how much different it is here from Disney World, because she said, like, you leave any park at Disney World and just the walk to the buses will exhaust you, right? And you don't have that here because it's just outside the gate.
However, we are, so we didn't take a bus, we walked here. That walk is and this is, I was thinking this too, that walk is equivalent from like walking from the buses all the way to like the front of the park of like what we did.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a good like, it'll take you a good like 5-6 minutes to like get there from bus transportation and everything. And I mean, if you include walking from your room to the buses and everything like that, that's probably pretty much what we did.
Just let you get a little bit of the music going on and the ambiance. Like, there's so much bustling going on. It's interesting how they do some of the statues. Like, they've got little statues around the partner statue of the characters that he created. And we were at Disneyland Hotel yesterday, and obviously the company has started celebrating the 100th anniversary, and we went to the lobby area of the Disneyland Hotel, and they had this great big black and white display up. And I went to take a picture, and I'm going, oh my God, this is so cool. And my daughter's going, well, what is it? But what is it? What is it? And it was of the Alice comedies. She didn't, she doesn't know what that is, because I've never really shown them anything around that, because it's just something I don't think they'll be interested in.
Yeah.
But what a cool display. I was able to take a picture in the middle of it. Like, Yeah, it's so cool. And yeah.
Kristen was actually asking what all that stuff was too, and I was like, yes, this is Alice, and I think they had, is it Oscar the cat?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Or,
Felix the cat.
Felix,
yep.
yeah.
That's Oscar. But yeah, all of that was there, and that's like kind of like what started Walt really. And so that I guess that's very that makes a lot of sense to have the Alice cartoons and the Felix cartoons there, because it's like really what Walt started with and showed how he was going to innovate with animation and everything.
And right, like he came over here from Kansas City with $40 and an Alice short in his
And a
pocket,
dream.
right? And a dream. And he came over here and was able to sell that Alice comedy. And then that spun into Oswald, which then eventually we got Mickey Mouse, and you know the rest is history, as they say. But
They gotta take her quick. Closest balcony just with me. She said, so she really has to go.
what do you say we go get a picture with Walt and Mickey?
I say that sounds wonderful.
All right, let's do that. You know, we haven't done any kind of picture here with the PhotoPass guys yet. I don't know if you've gotten any yet.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten any.
we haven't either, and I feel like they are a little more sprinkled in at World than Disneyland. I feel like I see more
There's
in Disney
there's
World.
not quite as many here, is there?
And I mean that lends to how spread out World is, because you can kind of like sprinkle all these PhotoPass people around.
Hi there.
Guys,
Can we get a picture? Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Do you want some photos?
Yes,
Yep.
please.
Awesome. Want to set your bags on the side right here?
Okay.
Okay, stand right on the side over here.
Hey, Walt. How you doing?
You want to get nice and close? We're going to scoot over just a little bit this way.
All right.
A little more. There you go. Awesome. How do we two know each other?
We're cousins.
Cousins. Awesome.
Yes.
Alrighty. Everyone look over here, guys. Ready? One second. Hi, friends. If I can have you guys just take a couple steps this way just so you're not in their photos. Thank you, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold that there. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. We're going to go across those arms. We're
Cross
gonna go
those
back to
arms.
back. Perfect. There you go. Hold that there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice. Awesome. You do one more. Have you guys both sit down, okay?
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna make a little space in the center. So just go over just a little more. More. Got room for a buddy right there. I want you guys to both look down here, okay? Give a big shock expression. We're gonna add something magical right there for you. Ready? Perfect, just like that. Hold that there. Awesome. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
You guys have the app I can scan for you?
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Do you want to mine?
Go ahead.
All set?
Cool.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no
Thank
worries. Have a good one.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and that's the magic that the cast members can bring.
Yeah, get a magic shot. So you're gonna have to send that to me.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yep. There.
Spoken like a true Wisconsin.
There's the Wisconsin coming out of me.
right. Ah, look at that main street.
I know, yeah. Very cool looking down it.
It is. Man, I feel like we need a churro.
We need something. We definitely need something.
So guys, thanks for listening. Go check us out on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the show notes.
Yeah, well, as we like to say, some live close,
But others don't.
so let's talk about it. We'll see you next time on Miles from Main Street.
I think we need a churro. Can I buy you a churro?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right, let's go.